Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookham here, and I'm sure everybody has heard the horrible news that Cedric McMillan has passed away at the age of 44. This is yet another devastating blow to bodybuilding after the death of high-profile bodybuilders towards the end of last year. I found out when I was scrolling through Instagram and saw a post from Nick Strength and Power. And the moment I saw that photo of him with Cedric, it being kind of like a retro photo, I just yelled out, "Oh no!" I just knew what had happened. I knew he'd passed away, and of course, after reading the post, it was confirmed. I quickly chatted to Nick last night, and he confirmed all of this on Instagram. We had a quick chat, and he told me that apparently Cedric had had a heart attack while on the treadmill doing cardio before he went to bed. Now, there's several videos and tributes pouring in over the passing of Cedric. Naturally, the bodybuilding community is in mourning right now for the loss of, one of the nicest guys in the industry. Let's be honest, Cedric was such a great guy. And I say that because I met Cedric. I met him several years ago in Sydney, Australia. I was a big fan of both him and Sean, because out of all the mass monsters from the current era, Sean and Cedric were both still keeping the aesthetics in bodybuilding, and it is just terrible to see both of them pass away at such short intervals. It's just... I remember speaking to Cedric and to Sean, of course, and I'll never forget what Cedric told me regarding aesthetics. He said, everyone, to paraphrase Cedric, he said something like, everyone is chasing size now, but I'm the last of the Mohicans. And he said that proudly, and I was like amazed at his size and the tiny waist, the massive chest, like barrel-like chest, amazing, but such a friendly guy, And yeah, the guy was just amazing. And even Arnold, of course, was a fan of him. Everyone that's been following bodybuilding knows that Arnold was a huge fan of Cedric, and I'm pretty sure he's going to say something about this. I'm waiting to hear from him as well. He was a fan of his ability to pose, his physique, because Cedric was a mass monster. You could call him that, but kind of somewhere in between classic and a mass monster, with an amazing ability to pose, charisma. I mean, the guy was just such a great guy. Yeah. I never sought out, for example, Phil or Kai, or even before them, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, or Dorian. I mean, I had the opportunity. I even worked at one point at one of the gyms where Ronnie came. Because at least to me, I mean, I never sought these guys out, because at least to me, I'm sorry if I offend people, but they were monstrosities. They are monstrosities to me, and not aesthetic. I thought, for example, out of all those guys, maybe Ronnie and even Dorian, before they really got on the gear, they looked aesthetic, but yeah, the end product was not what I like. I always admired Cedric's aesthetics, with that tiny waist, large barrel chest, and his vision of bodybuilding, of aesthetics to keep it alive. I admired that a lot. But in today's video, in this tribute to Cedric McMillan, I did wish to give my own reflections as a father. I myself am turning 44 this year, like Cedric is or was. And a father, I'm also a father like Cedric. It just breaks my heart to hear this story, because I can understand his perspective as well. The man knew of the warning signs. Let's be honest, they were there. His doctors had advised him to reduce or completely stop this bodybuilding lifestyle. He could have, but he chose not to. I understand the need, and this is where my understanding comes in. I understand the need to continue no matter what. Because as a father, we always put our family's welfare before everything else, including ourselves and even our own health. So in that respect, I am in no position to judge Cedric at all. He had kids, he had his family, house, wife, and it's hard. It's really hard. If you're a good father, you know the weight that's on your shoulders. But at the same time, he could have retired. He could have possibly saved himself. And that's what is really heartbreaking. Because I can only imagine how his wife and his kids must be going through right now, what they're feeling. It's just terrible. And when you're a good father to your wife and kids, you truly are the pillar of the household and the family. You're the king. You're an idol in the eyes of your children. And now that pillar, that idol, and that king that they looked up to is gone. Their dad is gone. That's just terrible. It's just absolutely heartbreaking, you know. And this is what I really find most devastating out of all of this. And I can only share my condolences to Cedric's family, because I could not even begin to imagine the pain that my own kids would feel, and my wife, if I was to pass at such a young age. It breaks a family when the father or the mother dies like that. It's just, at such a young age. It's just terrible. I can't imagine what my own family would feel, so let alone what Cedric, such a huge figure in bodybuilding, with equally his own family and a massive fan base, friends, everybody. It's just terrible. It is obvious to me, at least, that PEDs, of course, and the lifestyle of bodybuilding had much to do with this. You'd have to be blind and completely ignorant to ignore this. It is also likely that Cedric's infection with COVID likely exacerbated his underlying health issues through bodybuilding lifestyle, as this virus has been linked with more severe disease, especially in steroid users. And I have even done a video on this last year, warning bodybuilders. It is sad to see the likes of Cedric, and even before him, Rich Piana, die at an age where they should have retired from this lifestyle and instead enjoy their more mature years with their wives and families. Maybe it's an opportune time to state what I've stated before. But, again, how many must fall before anything changes? I think at the end of the day, maybe nothing will change in this sport, so it is up to the individual to weigh out their choices before it's too late. As I always say, stay natural and enjoy your life. It's ironic, but when we compare Rich Piana's death, the warning signs were there for Rich as well. He was warned by his doctors, but when he decided to retire, it was already too late for him. I hate to bring that up, but I think there's a valid comparison there. They were both in their 40s. So once again, I offer my deepest condolences to Cedric's family and friends. Rest in peace, Cedric. You will be sorely missed. You were such a down-to-earth guy, humble, always had time for your fans and me, of course. You had a lot of time for me. I'll never forget that. And this is just terrible. This is the Golden Era book. I'm saying bye for now.